Okay, so this is going to be a restorative class. And this may either be your favorite class or your least favorite class. It just sort of depends. I know for me, for a very long time, it was my least favorite class. So it may take some getting used to, but except that you either really love this or you really hate this, and then figure out why you really love it and really hate this. I mean, if you get to sleep all the way through it, you may just love it. But if your mind is fighting you all the way through it, you may just hate it, right? So be ready and just pay attention, accept your own reactions to what's going on, and then work toward finding a quiet, peaceful place for yourself. Okay, just if disturbances come, let them go. We are going to start with physical poses for the first half of the class, and then the second half of the class we will do pranayama. So rest assured that none of the physical poses are going to last more than 2 minutes. It may seem like an eternity, but it won't be an eternity. It will only be 2 minutes. However, knowing that, it can be wise to sort of pace yourself, to take a little extra time in setting yourself up in the pose, working your way through it. You've been talked through it millions of times by now, maybe. And so work your way through it and find your best pose, all right? And so none of the physical poses will last more than 2 minutes. Some will be like 1 minute on each side if there's a side. Then we'll go to the pranayama, and I'll prepare you for that before we do that, all right? So let me turn my ringer off so that I'm not disturbing people. And we're going to start in Suta Tadasana on the floor. A lot of my job is going to be timing, and so I'm not going to demonstrate a whole lot. So you're going to lay down on the floor with your feet at the wall. So lay down on the floor with your feet at the wall and have your knees bent just a little bit when you lay down. Yeah, we're going to be on the floor for a bit, so if you want to move your laptop onto the floor, that could be all right. That way I can see you too. Give yourself a little room on either side if you can, but you're not going to need a lot. If you have an option, more is better. If you don't have an option, don't worry. It's fine. It's fine, Richard. So lay down. Lay yourself down with your knees bent. So scoot a little to the wall and bend your knees. So scoot your body toward the wall. Then, once you're there, you're going to push yourself away from the wall. So know that may pull your t-shirt down a little bit, but push yourself away from the wall. Now, before you finish, adjust your t-shirt. So if your t-shirt is bothering you, adjust it before you fully straighten your legs. And that should have brought your shoulder blades nice and flat on the floor underneath you. Should have drawn your hips down. Press your heels into the wall. So these are active poses. The seduction is to relax in these poses. These are active poses. So press your heels into the wall. Tighten your kneecaps, draw your thighs to the floor. Firm your glutes slightly. Retuck your shoulders, re-lengthen your neck. Take your arms to the side, palms up. begin to settle into your pose. And first, make sure that everything is perfectly placed, that you have action evenly, or your attention, your attention is spread evenly through your body, that every part feels properly settled on the floor, and then allow your awareness to move inward, maintaining the alert mind, the observant mind. Allow your breath to be slow and steady. Review to see, have you relaxed into the pose to such an extent that you haven't been active? Well, arms are about the only thing you get to really soften and let go, but your legs remain active. The action moves through your trunk. Shoulder blades are anchored well onto the floor. The chest is lifted. The neck is long. The front brain softens to the back brain. And breathe. Now then, maintaining that awareness. Bring your arms up, parallel to one another, and then overhead so that your palms face the ceiling. Readjust your pose. It may help to bend your knees slightly and repressurize your pose so that you have a very solid contact, feet to the wall, trunk is extended, shoulder blades now are tucked underneath, neck feels long. The extension of the body will focus your breath more toward the midline of your body. Keep the arms extended. They're not relaxed now. They're extended. Slow, steady breath. Observe yourself. Are you still active and yet quiet? All right. Now then, bring your arms up, maintaining parallel. Watch your low back. And then come all the way down to the floor. Take a couple of breaths. And then bend your knees and roll to your right side. And sit up. Now, you're going to take your blanket, 1 or 2 blankets. It depends on your own pliability in your spine. We're going to just make a roll. And I have always found it works best if you roll the fringe inward. Roll the fringe inward and just make a roll with your blanket. And that roll is going to sit, hope you can see me, right at the bottom of your shoulder blade, right across this part of your back. So find the bottom, when you set yourself up, again, let yourself lay down a little on the front of this. I'll demonstrate. Yeah, you can see me. So lay down a little bit on the front of this, and then roll yourself over it. Can you still see? Yeah. So that your chest is lifted, your head is on the floor, and your shoulders are either on the floor or well supported by your blanket, so that you're comfortable, but that you have a little lift under your chest. And 1 blanket is fine, if you happen to be very pliable in that part of your back. But I do want you to do the scooting action like we did on the floor. Remember how well that worked at drawing not only your shoulders down, but your hips. And then straighten your legs out. Once you're settled, and again, allow yourself to spread now into this pose. Stretch your legs. Hopefully the heels are still on the wall. Stretch your legs. Make sure that you're over it enough so that your shoulders are very close to the floor. Your head is not hanging back. Yeah, so Richard, keep coming over a little more. There. Feel it? Yeah, okay. Unmute. Unmute yourself, Ronnie. I can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Lay down on the floor, because I'm using beach towels and it's not happening. Let me see where you position them again.
Well, I just used 1 blanket. So if you put a bunch of beach towels together, and then the positioning is, when I lay down, I start a little bit higher, maybe up here. I want to push myself over the roll so that this is pulled down and my chest is lifted. I want to keep going until, and I may be slightly below that shoulder blade, but right at it, so that the shoulders are on the floor, the head is not hanging back.
Okay.
It'll be fine. Couple of beach towels should work.
I've got a couple, I got 2 beach towels, okay.
Okay, mute yourself.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Bye-bye, love you.
I don't have a wall.
Hi, Wendy.
Hello. I don't have a wall. I'll have to find another spot.
That's all right, just stretch your legs. Just stretch your legs.
Okay.
Yeah, just lay down for a moment and stretch your legs.
Okay.
So this, I'm going to give everybody 1 more minute since it took people a while to get into this. Lay yourself down, relax your arms, just stretch your legs out. They should be flat. The bolster is under your shoulders or just below your shoulders. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Feel how your breath can move with the chest really supported like that. Stop, stop, stop. Oh, Lord. Stop. Everybody come up. Roll to your side. And sit up. Okay, that's fine. All right, so. All right, so now we're going to do Adho Mukha Virasana. And there are several ways this can be done, depending on your ability. We've got all kinds of folks here. So if you can sit on your heels on the floor. Could you please stop that? Stop, stop. Now it's gotten very excited, this little timer. All right, so you can sit on the floor. So we're sitting on our heels or between our heels. Remember to move the flesh out. Knees are apart. You don't have to be all the way down on the floor. You can put a block under your hips. Then you can stretch forward and rest your head on the chair or on the floor. If you rest your hands on the floor, the arms stay up. You rest up on your fingertips. Better? Yeah. So the arms stay up. You're on your fingertips. So heels are together, knees are apart. If sitting on the floor like that is not in your house, doesn't work for you, you can pull your chair very close to the wall. And sit far enough away so that you have to extend yourself to push yourself up, lean forward, and rest your head on your folded arms on the wall. And this is actually more active than what the people are doing on the floor because you have to use your abs more. All right, is everybody settled in this pose? Let's see. If you're happy, you're going to be happy. So either begin now. Go ahead. Extend yourself forward. Sit back on your heels or sit back into your chair. So there's an abdominal action where you draw back into your hips and extend forward from there. So that's your pivot point. So feel that extension. Rest your head on something. If your head isn't on the floor, put a block under it, a towel if you have one right there, whatever you can find easily. Just rest your head on something. Change the cross of your arms. If you have crossed arms, change it. Allow your breath to flow. Feel that space that you've created. Everybody, come on. All right. And then let's sit in the chair. Sit up in your chair. We all there? Sit in your chair. So this is our Tadasana in the chair. Press your feet down on the floor, lift up through your abdomen, up through your trunk. Allow your shoulders to spread wide and settle down onto your back, even as you continue to lift your back. Tailbone moves in. There's some activity there in the pelvis. Draw your head back. Now we're going to do a twist. We're going to bring the arms parallel in front of us and bring them up. Take the shoulders up and twist to your right. Bring your hands down. The left hand is on your knee and the right hand is in the back of your chair. And take a moment then to resettle yourself. Taking your shoulders down. Adjusting the sides of your body. Your right side will want to move outward. The left side will want to collapse inward. So use the arms to bring yourself into the right alignment and then begin to twist more. Spiraling up your spine. And then slowly unwind that. And sit tall. Bring your arms up. Twist to your left. Stretch your arms. Bring them down. Then adjust yourself. Bring your shoulders down. Adjust your rib cage. Check your neck. Get yourself settled. Take a couple of breaths there, and then begin to release your trunk around. The arms are providing leverage, but they're not to overpower the trunk. The trunk is to receive. You have to be very compassionate and alert as you go. Slowly unwind that. Sit tall. We're going to repeat this one. Stop, because the only twist we're going to do. Sit tall. Bring your arms up. Shoulders up. Twist to your right. Bring your arms down. Begin to adjust your trunk. Shoulders down. Ribs align over toward your left side. Move them to the left. Get your arms in place to give you some leverage, and then begin releasing your trunk around. Exhaling as you move. Inhaling as you refine your posture. Exhaling as you twist. Inhaling as you refine your posture. Keep breathing. Relax your face and jaw. Slowly unwind it. Sit for just a breath or two, adjusting yourself, noticing how different the sides feel. Bring your arms up, shoulders up, twist. Bring your arms down. Adjust yourself, shoulders down, chest up. Adjust your ribs. Get yourself settled. Then inhale, get ready. And as you exhale, twist toward the back of the chair, using your arms as leverage to help you twist. Keep breathing, slow and steady. And then slowly, slowly release that and come back to sitting. Sit tall for just a moment. Now then we're going to stretch our hips a bit. Stay tall. Reach behind your right knee. Pull it up and in. And at first, don't worry so much about where your knee is. Address your trunk. Address that part of your posture first. Then begin to draw that thigh down. Using the muscles up in the upper outer thigh, extending through the inner thigh. Draw that knee down, down, down. You can use your hand a little bit to help it. Keep a nice, steady breath. Now slowly press that leg one more time. Lift up one more time. Reset your pose. And then begin to release. Help that leg down with your hands. And sit tall. Okay, we're going to lift your left leg up, bring it across, bring it up as close as you can to your hip, and set your posture. Then, can you bring your heel towards your hip anymore? Maintaining your posture. Use your hand to help that thigh move down. Sit tall. Press your thigh down. Breathe. Keep the right foot on the floor. Just a light pressure so that you're fully engaged in this moment. Slow, steady breath. Bring that leg down. Use your hands to help. All right. Now then, let's stand up. We're going to do 2 standing poses, supported. So I want your head to be supported. That can either be on the back of the chair or a table that's higher than the back of the chair or the seat of the chair. If you're super flexible, you can put a block on the floor, but don't really work all that hard in this class. This is more for self-awareness than it is for a workout. So first, Tadasana in front of your chair. So your feet can be hip width. Draw your tailbone in, lift up from your feet, lifting through the kneecaps, lifting through the pelvis, lifting through the trunk. Shoulders broad and down, neck long. Now inhale, intensify that action. As you exhale, fold at the hip socket, move yourself down, fold your arms, rest your head. If you need a blanket on there, just a little bit higher, you can grab that blanket and put it up there for extra height. Fold your arms and rest. Soften your shoulders back, away from your elbows, and down the back towards your waist. From your feet, lift up through your legs, spreading the hamstrings, drawing the abdomen up. But be sure that you are resting your head, your forehead, on something. Either the forehead, or if you're on a block on the floor, more toward the crown of your head. Keep reviewing the shoulders, the extension of the trunk, back to the hip. And from the feet, lifting up through the knees, spreading the hamstrings. Slow, steady breath. Change the cross of your arms. Keep the breath slow and steady. Draw that abdomen up and draw it back. That helps the hamstrings. And inhale, draw yourself up. Stand up tall. How do you get to be 10:45? All right, let's sit down on the floor now. Now, your setup will depend on what you have available. If you have a bolster, I'm going to go sideways. Sorry. You can set your bolster and have a blanket at the top and just simply stretch yourself out. You don't need to have your feet at the wall. I'm just sort of stuck here. But as you lay down, lift up your rib cage so that your floating ribs are supported on the bolster. If you have a blanket, same thing applies. In this case, the blanket, you're going to take it from this size and fold it so that there's 3 layers like that. And then put the second blanket across the top for your head. We're going to end class here, so make it comfortable. So then lay yourself down, lifting up your trunk nicely so that these floating ribs are what hits the edge, not down here on your pelvis or at your waist, but a little higher, the kidney area. Right, so you lift up, you lean back, you lower yourself down. See that you're centered on your support. Stretch yourself out and relax. If you have glasses on, of course, take them off now. See that your headrest allows your chin to be just a little bit lower than your forehead, that your shoulders hit the edges of your support equally, and that you feel level. If it's not perfect right now, just go on and revisit this when you can use the video. Allow your breath to become slow and steady. And allow your awareness to move inward. Feel the movement of breath through your trunk. From wherever you are most aware of the movement of your breath. From that point, move outward with your awareness and notice how the breath is feeling. Slowly allow that breath awareness to spread throughout your whole body. So keep your steady breath going while I explain the next part. To this breath that you've established and are establishing at this point, we want to add a pause, several pauses on the inhale. That is different than holding your breath. So as you're inhaling, you might inhale just a bit, maybe a third of the way, and just pause a moment. A third of the way, pause a moment. A third of the way till the top, and pause. Never strain, never feel tension. Allow this to be smooth and easy work. Take an exhale. As you inhale, feel yourself fill a third of the way and pause. Again, inhale and pause. One more time, inhale and pause, and exhale completely, slow and steady. So don't allow the air to rush out, and take a normal breath, inhaling and exhaling. Now the inhale, a third of the way, and pause. Inhale and pause. Inhale and pause. Slow, steady exhale. And a normal breath. After your next exhale, this is challenging because we all are breathing have different ratios. So when you're able to practice with this on the video, adjust your breathing to match what you can do. After your next exhale, we'll begin the inhaling. So take an exhale. And inhale a third of the way and pause. A third of the way, inhale and pause. Third of the way and pause, and a slow, steady exhale. Take some normal breaths. Now we're going to do the same thing, but as we exhale. So we will take a full inhale. Don't overpump it, you're fine. Just take a nice full exhale, just as you've been doing, and then we'll cut the exhale into 3 parts, pausing in between each part. Okay, so let's inhale. Begin your exhale from the bottom, about a third of it, and then pause, exhale, pause, exhale. Pause, inhale, and breathe normally. So notice for yourself then, when it came time to inhale, were you desperate for the inhale? So make it modest for yourself. If what I'm asking is too long of a time, then you shorten your time. Okay. So exhale. Inhale fully. Exhale from the bottom. Pause. Exhale from the middle. Pause. Exhale all the air out. Pause. And inhale, slow and steady. One more time. Inhale. Well, let's not run over time. Let's rest. Let's stop and have a slow, steady breath. Noticing now how you are feeling. Relaxing face, eyes, jaw, and tongue. Feel your breath in your body. Observe it. Now we don't control it. We let it find its natural way. But we do ask a little. We ask it to be smooth and steady. Quiet yourself into the breathing. If you move to sitting to avoid perhaps a sleepy state, be sure that you're sitting tall, releasing the thighs down and lifting through the trunk, shoulders down. But rest for one more minute. And then roll to your right side after your exhale. Bend your knees and roll onto the right side. Rest there for a moment. And then roll forward, push yourself up to sitting using your hands. And sit in any comfortable position. If you want to sit at the wall, you can do that. But be sure that you're lifted up out of your hips, lift up out of your waist. Shoulders are back and down, chest is broad. Find a steady place for yourself. Jawline is parallel to the floor. Notice yourself. Notice your breath. Bring your palms together in the center of the chest. Thumbs press that skin in the center of the chest at the sternum. Shoulders release downward, trunk lifts upward. Inhale, lift your chest up. And as you exhale, bow your head for a moment in gratitude for all the blessings of your life. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming.